Welcome to This Week. Our speaker is Reem Kassem from Alexandria, Egypt.
Hi, my name is Reem Kassem, and I'm a cultural manager and producer and cultural researcher currently based in Abu Dhabi. I'm also the founder of Agora for Arts and Culture. And Agora is a cultural institution based in Alexandria, Egypt, that works on community involvement through education, production, dissemination of arts and culture. I'm also one of 3 co-founders for the virtual platform Basita.live. And Basita is a virtual theater or a virtual venue, and as well an income-generating platform for the creative and cultural sectors worldwide that has been created during the past year of the pandemic. During the recent years, most of the people in the creative industries were discussing alternative funding models, and were also discussing how they can be self-sustained financially through their activities. Most of the institutions are heavily depending on international funding or even local funding, and funding mainly for projects. However, there are very, very few cultural organizations that are self-sustained financially through their activities or through their earned income. And for this reason, when all our work moved to the online platforms, it became even more challenging for artists, creative freelancers, and cultural institutions to generate income through the virtual platforms. And of course, the virtual platforms, they come with their own challenges like copyright, security, online security, etc. So during this period, we thought, the co-founders of Basita.live, that creating a platform that is safe and secured, that also helps the artists and the institutions worldwide to share their online content in a secured way, while also being able to charge their audiences a fee / a ticket, would be very helpful during this critical time. And that's why immediately in April last year, April 2020, we started interviewing artists and having conversations with different institutions worldwide to understand their needs if such a virtual platform would become a reality. And from that, we started developing Basita.live and launched it in May 2020 as a test version. And from May till August, we started adjusting the platform as we saw suitable after consultations with artists. So we heard from filmmakers, we heard from performers, theater makers, dancers, what are the features and the elements, the technical elements that would help them take their art and present it worldwide, while also being able to have a sustainable, automated income from what they present. Then in August, we officially launched the platform with the first event. It was on 4th of August. And since then, we've hosted almost 25 events so far, ranging from musical events, film screenings, dance performances, theater performances, and talks as well. And we have noted that audiences, they are still not used to paying for creative and cultural content, while they all are fine with paying for mainstream content on platforms such as Netflix or, for example, Spotify or Apple Music or other different platforms that present mainstream content. And still, the culture is new for audiences to start accepting the fact that also artists and cultural institutions, they deserve the same support that the mainstream content receives. Therefore, during this period, we are heavily working on audience awareness and awareness in general, that artists should be equally supported, that the independent artists and the independent scene and creatives who present cultural content in general, no matter what the discipline is, they also deserve the same support that other creatives from the mainstream sector receive. And to do that, we have launched several campaigns and we have launched several info sessions, and we are still planning to do more. So the way Basita.live functions, it's very easy. Basita actually means simple. It's an Arabic word, but also resonates to different languages. And its translation is simple. So the artist or the institution, they go on Basita.live, the platform, and they create an account, a personal account. There are 3 types of accounts. An account as an artist, so a musician, a filmmaker, or even a visual artist, an individual artist can create an account. And there is also the venue or an institution account. So if it's a cultural center, if it's a band or a festival or any type of institution or a venue, can create another account. We also have a 3rd type of account for audiences. So also audiences create accounts. And creating an account is very simple and straightforward. They just fill in some information, a quick synopsis, bio, a photo, a profile photo, and social media links, and that's it. Once the artist or the institution, they create their account on Basita.live, then they gain access. They have a username and password from which they can log into the platform and start creating their events. And creating an event on Basita.live is also very simple. They start also filling in the information of the event name, the event type. And on Basita, we have 2 types of events. We have the live events that are happening in real time, and we have the premieres. And the premieres are all the pre-recorded content. And then they fill in the discipline. Is it a concert? Is it a film screening? The genre. They choose their ticket price. So audiences from anywhere in the world, when they log in, they see the currency of the place or the country they are logging in from. And they see also the time zone of the place they are logging in from. And then the artist also adds the synopsis about the performance, the photo. And then if it's a premiere, then they have to upload the content, if it's a film or a filmed concert. And if the content is not ready, the artist can also skip this step and upload the content anytime later, but it has to be within 48 hours before the premiere date. And then the artist submits the event for approval. It goes to us for review. We review the event details, and then we approve it and confirm. Once the event is approved, then it appears publicly on our homepage, and the artist can start promoting the link. People can start buying tickets, and it works really in an automated way. Also, there are several different features that the platform offers. So, for example, for films, there is the option of uploading subtitles. Also, for all the events, there is the option of geo-blocking. We understand that some people, sometimes they want to make their content available in some regions or some countries, and some countries not. For simple reasons, like, for example, they don't own the distribution rights in certain regions, and they only own it for certain countries. So this feature is also there. There is a feature to make the event with invitation only for a limited number of people. You can make your event available for unlimited ticket purchase, or you can make it only available for a certain number of people if you want to keep it for a small number of audiences. And of course, the content is very secured. We use 2 types of security. First of all, encryption technology, so the content is encrypted. And second, on our web version, we use watermarking technology. So, of course, anyone who accesses the content, who buys a ticket, has to have an audience account on Basita.live. And therefore, when the audience are watching the content, their IP address and email address appear on the screen as a watermark every 5 minutes randomly. So anyone who wants to screen record or try to infringe the content in any way, the content owner will be able to know who this person is. And also the platform offers detailed statistics to the creative users, the artists and the institutions. So whenever an artist creates an event, in their panel, their events panel, they can see statistics such as who are the people who bought the tickets, their demographics, their information, from which country, which nationality. And while creating the platform, we thought that this is very, very necessary during this period when we moved to the online platforms and our audiences are beyond the geographical place or boundaries we are in. We have to understand more from where are our audiences from, so that we can also enhance our outreach and marketing efforts. So the statistics are also downloadable in a PDF format, and we have the advanced statistics that also give the artist the contact details, the email addresses of his audiences. And this is something that is written in our terms and conditions, where the audiences, they approve and allow the platform to share the email addresses with the artist, since they have bought a ticket for his or her event. Our observations so far, after hosting nearly 25 events during the past 9 months, are that we've seen that audiences, they have the tendency to pay for the online content. And this is when the audiences are from the loyal followers or the fans of the artist. People who don't know the artist are less likely to commit to paying for a ticketed online event. But also we noticed that theater, dance, and film are selling more than music. But we haven't hosted a lot of musical events so far. We haven't hosted new performances so far, new musical performances so far. So also we don't have enough data to confirm our analysis. However, from our initial findings, we thought that because music is widely more available online and there are so many music platforms such as Spotify and Remi and other, that's why audiences have lots of alternatives. However, we are also going to examine again when we have a new production on the platform or a new collaboration, something interesting that is not available on other platforms. But for film and theater and dance, we've noted that people are more interested to pay for such a content, especially people, for example, we hosted lots of events from Egypt. So lots of Egyptians living abroad, they were very keen to watch those independent films or theater performances from their country because they are unable to access this content physically in Egypt. We have noted also that the platform through the platform, artists and institutions reached new target groups. And these new target groups tend to be more on the two broad spectrums of age. So a younger technology generation felt were more interested to interact with cultural content online than physical. Also, senior citizens found it more convenient to interact with cultural content online. And of course, the global aspect, people who are not physically in the same location. So, and that's what we have in our plan for Basita.life after the pandemic and beyond this critical time. When people are back to theaters and institutions are operating normally, we think that the virtual option still will remain as an option, as an interesting and crucial option as well for some target groups who are not able to be there in person or physically. So we see the platform offering a big opportunity for artists from all over the world and from the region as well. The platform is currently in English and Arabic, and we are planning to add more languages in the future. And we would like to encourage more artists to register on the platform. It's free. artists do not pay a subscription fee or a registration fee, and the platform only deducts 25% of total ticket revenue when the artist creates an event and sells ticket. And the platform also includes the events in its newsletter and takes the risk with the artist, if the artist sells tickets or doesn't sell enough tickets, the platform only deducts the 25% that is actually the fees of the payment gateway and the streaming service and the servers, etc. So the platform for now is offering lots of opportunities to artists, and that's why we would like to encourage more and more artists to register and create events. Even they can share their old content, their archived content, if they have old performances that have been archived and they want to test how it functions, they can do that. The platform also has an app. And this is because through our statistics, we've seen that more than 95% of the people logging in on our platform, they log in from their mobile phones. So we created an iOS and Android app for an enhanced visitor and audience experience. So please, I encourage you all to register and start creating your events. It's automated, easy, simple, straightforward, and it's free. And if you have any inquiries, please feel free to email me or email our contact email, creativeusers@basita.live. Thank you very much.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to DOADOA 2021, the virtual docu-series. As you've heard from the speaker, now let's get to know the artist. The artist in focus this week is Deo Munyakazi from Kigali, Rwanda. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, my name is Deo Munyakazi, traditional artist, singer and songwriter. Welcome to DOADOA Virtual Festival. Well, Munyakazi is a Rwandan traditional artist, musician, singer and songwriter, based in Kigali, Rwanda. He plays inanga, is Rwandan traditional musical instrument, which is made of strings and wood with a pentatonic tune. That's my sound. Nimuze kwimakaza umuco w'abanyarwanda nk'uko byahozeho, duhuza amarembo tugwiza amararo, dusenga n'Imana dusangire byose, dufumbata imfubyi dutera n'inkunga, duhana inka duhanira abageni, nk'uko byahozeho. Isoko dusangiye ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda, ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda. Munyakazi Deo mwene habarirwa mukuru kare wa Kidende cya Mutarataza wazirimo abagabo akagira impakampanga. Aho inkotanyi y'abagabo ingabirane bayimashira ziraguhunga ni ikimenyimenyi uruhanga z'ubusa na kera nari igihangana. Nangara incuranze marangara incuranze mwiza incuranze mukonyi incuranze cyane mu bwana cyangwa bagiye batera ku ruti rw'abantu bahagurutse bavuga bakwaya imiseke n'imiseke bagwiza muri tembo, nanjye ncura inganji nk'abandi sanzu nk'irya rusuka mwene tema hagari wo mu Gisaka. And that right there, it's sound of Kigali. Rwanda. Welcome to DOADOA 2021. Well, my musical journey has been a blessing so far, because I got a time to introduce my music, my Inanga sound to the universe. I did collaboration with different artists, worldwide artists. I've been traveling in music festivals, workshops, and many different projects. So, and I've released my album, which is named Isoko Dusangiye. So far, I'm still working, so I'm feeling grateful for my instrument. Growing up as a child, I used to listen to the sounds, traditional sounds, on the radio, on the cultural shows, but I couldn't think that I would be playing the Inanga. As I was interested in Rwandan culture, poetry, fortunately I met the one who plays the Inanga, who is named Mushabizi. Is the old maestro we have in Rwanda. So I was really impressed to meet him in person. I asked him to teach me. He said yes. So that's how I started my journey of playing the Inanga. So for now, what motivates me doing what I do every day is to bring back the original sound, the sound of Africa, the sound of Rwanda, and keeping alive African music. Wherever you are, this is the sound of Rwanda. Welcome to DOADOA.
Winongo jano mutaruta inyambo ahamata vuni mitozo nazanye nazivumera ebesaba begana injishi ibyanze ku ruhembe dore abana b'ibisage bitetera batamba namararo bahu namararo bako mwiriwe kandi muraho iye ngwino tugutembereze ngwino tugutembereze ngwino tugutembereze iwacu mu Rwanda ngwino tugutembereze ngwino tugutembereze ngwino tugutembereze iwacu mu Rwanda.
That right there is the sound of Rwanda, the sound of Africa. My spiritual belief is God, and I love to link the religion and humanity. I think it's DOADOA family. This is what I say, that praising the Lord it works also with a traditional sound.
Buryo waguhaye uramushimira, uwakugabiye ukamwitura, maze nshimire yaduhanze iyo gahangwa amasiteka, niyitugabira tugatunga, yaduhezagira tukeza, yadusiga tugasa neza, nirinde intambwe z'ibirenge byacu ngo hato tudatsikira shimwa mwami urakwiriye mwami urakwiriye urakwiriye mwami urakwiriye urakwiriye mwami ukwiriye gushimwa wastahili Bwana wastahili wastahili Bwana wastahili wastahili Bwana kupewa sifa osanide mukama osanide osanide mukama osanide osanide mukama okwebazibwa obonge nalo kumunzambe naga obonge nalo kumunzambe naga obonge nalo kumunzambe nangaye okwanenera okwanene okwanenera okwanene okwanenera okwanene okuzimirwa urakwiriye mwami urakwiriye urakwiriye mwami urakwiriye urakwiriye mwami ukwiriye gushimwa.
Well, my dream is making the world, the universe more better than yesterday through my sounds. I love doing collaborations, been working with different musicians, Joston, Keza Jones, and many more, Cecilia Kairebga. But I really like collaborations because it gives more inspiration, and working together, fusing music together, it's creating something which is really good. And I've been part of Urban Music Label. It's a nice project which combined together different producers and electronic DJs and traditional musicians just to make new sound which never been before. So the one I'm dreaming to work with, to collaborate with, is Richard Bonner. He's my favorite. Well, my favorite venue so far is DOADOA. I've been there, we've been there in festivals. It was really, really good. We had so much fun, good experiment. And so far another venue I would like to be is New York. I want to experiment the sounds of New York with the different musicians and Canadian festivals, Memorial, and somewhere else. So I like to travel the world experimenting new sounds. Do I have a new song very soon? Yes, I'm working on. I'm in studio working on my new song, my second track of my second album, which will be released maybe in 2-3 weeks. Wherever you are, you can find my music on digital platforms like Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, and you can also buy my album on Bandcamp. You can find all my music and on my YouTube channel. I use Munyakazi Deo. You can follow me also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I use Munyakazi Deo as well. Wherever you are, you can get my music.
Bega kwisiwe nunzije tujyane nzanye inanga yanjye tuzenguruka Afurika tugendagende iyi si tubabwira amahoro turere urukundo iraba indamukanyo maze banyikirize ye amahoro amani yo ye amahoro emilembe amani 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 amani
Here is my next song to you, the sounds of Rwanda.
nimuhuze twimakaza umuco w'abanyarwanda nk'uko byahozeho duhuza amarembo tugwiza amanaro dusenga n'Imana dusangire byose tuvumbata imfubyi duterana inkunga duhana inka duhanira abageni nk'uko byahozeho isoko dusangiye ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda abana b'ibisage batoza urukundo abakobwa b'iwacu basusurutsa uruhembe ababyeyi b'i Rwanda barwambarira impumbya abasaza mbakunde bari mu misango nk'uko byahozeho nk'uko byahozeho isoko dusangiye ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda.
I wrote this song Isoko Dusangiye just to remind people to be back to the roots, to the basics, to the essence as it was before, and bring back the culture. And that was my story here on DOADOA as Munyakazi Deo, artist from Rwanda. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, peace.
Thank you so much for joining this week's show, DOADOA 2021. I hope you had some fun and got some inspiration. If you have any comment, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave your comment, or our Facebook page, Twitter or Instagram. We'll definitely get back to you. We are very grateful, and until next week, I remain your host, Faizo Kiwewa from Bayimba and the DOADOA team. Keep it DOADOA 2021.
bakomboza igitaramo cy'iwacu iwacu turatarama ngwino urare iwacu turatarama ngwino urare iyo dukoze ku nyamirya iz'ubuhuha n'inkomangano biratwizihira cyane mpamagare muhigirwa ni Nyaruguru mu muhamirizo w'intore Sebaganji babukwege aseruke mu byivugo byiza mpamagare Sebatunzi ayihere mu miyuki akubwira intaha na batatu yaruta mu kinyange cyarutibuka mu bakemba tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka iwacu turatarama ngwino urare tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka turatarama ngwino urare tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka
Epana biso tolinga kobina Epana biso tolinga kosepela ka elongo tolinga tosepela tosangisa pe tolingana
tugusogongeze ku ntango y'amahoro nkwibutsa umugani wa Nyashya na Baba inkuru ya Saruhara rwa Nkomokomo Cyacana ndetse na Ngunda tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka iwacu turatarama ngwino urare aho dutaramiye nta rungu tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka turatarama ngwino urare
tolingana niso kaka kosepela
tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka turataramira ijoro tukarita hanze cyambere wampaye inka cyuringanje reka ntugatsikire cyuringanje nuko umuco wacu ntugacindishe
Welcome to This Week. Our speaker is Reem Kassem from Alexandria, Egypt.
Our observations so far after hosting nearly 25 events during the past 9 months are that we've seen that audiences, they have the tendency to pay for the online content.
What motivates me doing what I do every day is to bring back the original sound, the sound of Africa, the sound of Rwanda, and keeping alive African music. Itaranto. Hariho umutware yaratunze cyane afite n'abagaragu, kera kabaye agira uruzinduko mu kindi gihugu, ahamagara abagaragu be maze abasigira ubutunzi bwe. Umwe amuha itarane eshanu, undi amuha ebyiri, undi amuha itarane imwe itagirira kabiri, maze umutware arazinduka. Maze babagaragu batangira gukoresha za tarano nk'uko shebuja yazibasigiye. Uwahawe shana aragenda arazigenza, agenzura amesha hano. Uwahawe ebyiri nawe abigenza atyo, agenzura ebyiri. Maze wa wundi wahawe imwe aragenda acukura icyobo, ayishamo ya tarano, aratinyuka arayitabaye. Nuko imitsi irayitindira ataha, maze shebuja mu kuzindukuruka abarana nabo ibyo yabasigiye. Uwahawe shana araseruka ati databuja mwiza, wansigiye shanu uzungutse izindi eshanu. Uwahawe ebyiri nawe araseruka ati databuja mwiza, wansigiye ebyiri zungutse izindi ebyiri. Shebuja ati bagaragu banje beza, nuko kuko mwakiranutse muri bike, nico gitumye mbekurira byinshi. Ico nimuze mwinjire mu munezero wa shobuja. Maze wa wundi wahawe itarane imwe itagiriye kabiri, adatera hejuru azayivovuta cyane, ati databuja narinzi kuri umunyamwaga, usarura utabibye na munagane. Itarano narayitabye mu butaka, dore ngiyo ufata ibyawe. Maze shebuja aramusubiza ati mbe mugaragu mubi, niko wamunyabutewe, esi ni wari ukwiye kuyiha abagenza, maze nkasanga inyungu yayo. Nuko shebuja arayimwambura, ayigabira wa wundi wungutse itarane 10, igiye mu zindi agira 11, kuko ufite wese azongererwa.
ariko udafite azanyagwa n'utwo yari afite maze wa mugaragu mubi baramuboha bamujugunya mu mwijima hanze azize ubupfapfa mbega agahinda we itaranto yawe yikoreshe neza igira umumaro mu gihe gikwiye itaranto yawe yikoreshe neza igira umumaro mu gihe gikwiye mbese gufasha abakene gusura abarwayi ibikorwa by'urukundo gushigikirana imirimo myiza igihe twahawe aya mafaranga nizo taranto twasigiwe ngo zigire umumaro igihe tukiriho itaranto yawe ikoreshe neza igira umumaro mu gihe gikwiye itaranto yawe yikoreshe neza igira umumaro mu gihe gikwiye
My name is Faizo Kiwewa. I am the founder and the artistic director of Bayimba. Welcome to this year's edition of DOADOA 2021. As you're all aware, we skipped our 8th edition to the 9th. Don't blame us. The world did skip a year, and so did we. Since 2008, we have organized festivals, trained stakeholders, and championed a performing arts market that has helped local artists to level with the rest of the world and the region. That's how Bayimba has contributed to the vibrant arts sector in Uganda. This edition of DOADOA is thought to be a special one, quite different from the previous years. We are running it for 3 months, from May to July. Once a week, we'll host a speaker and one artist for 30 minutes. We are going to learn everything we can about them. Curated to give a glimpse of the performing arts industry, starting from right here, the future space for the Bayimba Center for Visual and Performing Arts on Lunkulo Island, to the Reykjavik Opera House in Iceland, India, Chile, USA, and South Africa. We are going to meet virtually with our friends, some of the most amazing game changers from around the world. They are going to tell us about their spaces, their initiatives, the opportunities, and the possibilities. We thought this edition of DOADOA would take us around the world, and we think we owe our audience what others have got to offer, and hopefully they could be inspired. I'm very grateful to introduce you to our speakers. This edition of DOADOA has been really getting to know our speakers, and we took it to be a personal invitation. And I would like to introduce you to Mr. Amitava from India.
Namaskar. My name is Amitav Bhattacharya. I'm in Calcutta, India. A social entrepreneur. 31 years of experience, education-wise an engineer, passed out of IIT Kharagpur, and Gurukul Chevening scholar from London School of Economics. 10 years I was in software, returned from Silicon Valley, US in 99, and then started banglanatak.com. Social enterprise focusing on culture and development. How the rural traditional culture can alleviate people out of poverty, how it can move towards an inclusive development, and slowly, with time, in 20 years, what we see is that when pride and recognition returns, and when the socio-economic gain happens in traditional artistic communities, then they come forward, participate in development, and the village, the artist, and the art form get vibrant. The art form gets safeguarded, the artists are on their own, and overall it's really a holistic development. With this background, let me go through a brief journey with you. I'll start with North Bengal and then come to the South Bengal. The city of Kolkata, which was the capital in the British days, but now capital of West Bengal. And as you know a little bit of history, that in 1947, when India got independence, that time, in the name of religion, India and Pakistan, two countries were born. Pakistan was born and Pakistan got separated from India. And that time, two states which were divided, one is West Bengal, Bangladesh, which is Bangladesh was part of Pakistan, used to be known as East Pakistan, and then became Bangladesh in 1971. And another state which got impacted is Punjab. But coming to Bengal, we share many of the cultures, the language with Bangladesh because it's our neighboring space. We were together, but now we are separated. Starting North Bengal, we get Bhavaiya, the music of North Bengal. It's a wonderful music. It's a music of daily lifestyle. It's a music talking about the essence of daily life. When husbands go out to work, women wait anxiously when their husbands are coming back, when they're returning. When there is flood, what is the disaster? What is the trauma people go through? All these are part of Bhavaiya. There are almost 4,000 practicing Bhavaiya singers in Alipurduar, Jalpaiguri, Kuch Bihar, districts. These are all, you can say, forest fringe areas and called duars. We have duars and hills in North Bengal. Coming to hills, the Darjeeling, Kalimpong, these are basically the Himalayas, foothills, and there are 16 communities, the indigenous communities, which have their own traditional art and culture, and they have their lovely music too, and the indigenous instruments and everything. When we come to middle of Bengal, we see the music has changed. There, the primary music, we see the baul music. The bauls of Bengal, one can say, is the soul of Bengal. Now, bauls basically, unlike other folk music, baul is not a lifestyle music. It is a music with philosophy. It is not a religious music, but it is a spiritual music. It talks about crossing the barriers. It talks about no barrier of religion, no barrier of caste, class. It talks about respect our opinion, include all, and it's a music of brotherhood. To me, it is a music of democracy, it is a music of socialism, and music of mankind celebrating the pluralism and cultural diversity. There are almost 2,300 practicing bauls in 5 districts of Bengal, in the middle of Bengal: Nadia, Murshidabad, Birbhum, Bardhaman and Bankura. If I come to south of Bengal, we see Bhatiali, the music of river, music of boating. And there, again, it's a lifestyle music. Your boat travels, you don't know when they will come back. The enjoyment and the turmoil with the nature. And that is exactly the Bhatiali music. There are almost about 100 Bhatiali singers. With the motorized boat, now you don't get to hear that music in the boat anymore. But the community still practices, enjoys, and leaves it at its leisure time. Coming to the west of West Bengal, which is primarily again a forest fringe areas and also the indigenous people again, the Santals and other indigenous people. There you get to see the Jhumur, the music, the song and dance. And also it's used to be known as Chotanagpur later. And also we see the Chow dance, the mass dance. In 2011, UNESCO accredited that with the Masterpiece Heritage of the World. So, and even Baul got it in 2008. It was a shared heritage between Bangladesh and India. More or less, one can actually talk about these are the musical. And from the handicraft side and the other culture side, I'll say Dokra, which is the metal. That's a very traditional space that few artists, they live in Bardhaman, Bankura. That's one of the primary one. Patachitra, the scroll painters, they still use natural color. That's the beauty. There were 8 artists in 2004. Now there are 352 artists. I think that's something is very essential to understand that this is... Now, what is our initiative? Our initiative, as I said, that we are primarily focused on how to save these traditional art forms, but saving is not by us, rather by the community. So that means how to empower these communities to come forward with their traditional art and culture. And when we do that, so what we do? When we go to a community, we try to build their capacity, we link them directly to the market. Directly, it is a very important word, so that there is no one in between. And then thirdly, we do a lot of exchange collaboration, and then we plant a village festival in their villages, celebrating their art and culture, and it should be calendarized. And that's how since 2004 we started working, but the village festivals we started planting in 2010. And till 2020 February, we did all the things, then onwards, the corona situation took over worldwide, so we couldn't host that. Now, these are, you can say, the more or less the significance, and is that these are significant art forms, and instrument-wise, dotara is a very, very important instrument in Bengal. Of course, we have the bamboo flute and the dhol, and the city of Calcutta, which got influenced by all the music and everything, and also the Tagore's songs are a big part, because Rabindranath Tagore, the first non-European Nobel laureate, is part and parcel of our culture, and his influence on our part is quite noteworthy, really. It's a place, Kolkata is a place of culture, including music, poetry, film, everything, and we really appreciate the contribution of those people in our life. Calcutta is a very socialist in nature. Bengal overall, it's a very left orientation, and because of again our history, Chaitanya in the Bhakti Cult movement, he talked about remove the caste religion, rather come forward. It's again from where Baul got influenced. So it's a very orientation is a little different than other parts of I'll say India, and one very important part, I will say, the collaboration. Because that's really, because historically, when Gandhiji in India spoke about nationalism, Rabindranath Tagore talked about universalism. So that theory actually influenced Bengalis, Calcuttans very well. So we, following the path of that, we believe in universalism. So since 2009, we have been hosting collaborations, and we invite international musicians, artists, designers, and to work with we host the local part, and they do come. I think more than 300 artists have, a little more than that, because we have been hosting our flagship festival, Sur Jahan, since 2011. So 10 years, and this 10 years, 5 to 6 bands each. So overall, I think we brought, other than Sur Jahan, we did a lot of collaborations. So maybe 355 to 400 artists have come. Even our artists have traveled abroad. I want to request all the listeners that please do take this as a very important opportunity. Come to India. We work primarily in West Bengal, Western Rajasthan, the desert, where there are beautiful musicians and art forms, traditional art forms, and come to Goa. So these 3 places will be happy to host collaborations, and I'm confident if you come, we will be good hosts. You will be enjoying collaborating with our artists, and you will be creating a new relationship, which I'm sure where you will learn, they will learn, and both of you will co-create, and rights will remain with both of you, and we can be a very positive catalyst in ensuring that. So with this small note, my urge, my request to all of you, invitation to all of you, that please do keep in touch and check our sites. We give always the calls: www.banglanatak.com, www.bncmusical.co.in. Now there are many sites, but these 2 will be helpful. And come forward, stay with us, meet the other traditional masters, interact with them, learn new things, co-create, enjoy India's warmth, India's creativity. And I'm sure that is going to be a good way forward. And we want to learn from you too. That's a very, very important part. And one more thing is that our festival, which after 2020 February we could not hold. Let's hope that once COVID goes away, we will be able to revive that. Now, the unique part of our organization, we have never taken donation in 21 years. And so we are not driven by any agenda. The agenda is created by us. An entrepreneur or any business earns, makes the profit if they can, and takes the profit to the owners. A social enterprise does the profit, if possible, and then shares it with the communities. And that's a very important definition and participative approach that we have. Music is our passion because we feel that with creativity, innovation, and music, we will be helping, we will be working, we will be together, we shall overcome, and we can be part of a much more peaceful world than we are in today. It is a journey not of mine, it is a journey of ours. And I invite to be a part of
John. When I start talking about music, I don't want to stop because it has made me who I am. I started playing music when I was 9 years old because my dad and had a group, and the group is still existing. It's called Aboluganda Kwagalana, which he started in 1945, and up to today, I'm still learning it, although he passed away.
As a student of music when I was growing up, I read about it. And I was interested to know what it is. Then at one point I saw in a book that was written by Edward Mukasa, Anthology of Ugandan musical instruments, and I found a picture of a line of drums with the people holding the sticks that are carved, and that I had never seen in Busoga. So I thought I should listen to this music somehow.
Ndi musiige mu lubiri lwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka. Nasiigibwa mu mwaka gwa 1958 mu lubiri ebaamunaanika. Kati entengezo zaaliyo. Kati ebaazikubanga ne zinnyumira. Nenjagala okugenda abazikuba ndabe bakuba. Naga kinyeganyege ne kinkwata ng'omwana ne njigirawo.
They are royal 12-tuned drums plus 3 of them, which makes them 15. They are played rarely in the palace, and especially for the king. Once you hear Ntenga playing, then the king is in the palace.
My dialect alone connects me to these drums and forces me to find out more about them. Could they be connected to my own, heritage, to my ethnic society? And in the process of working with the Musisi, he actually kept on insisting that Ntenga came from Busoga. It was brought by one of the early kings of Uganda.
Engoma ezo buli kika mu lubiri kirimu engoma zikikuba. Abakondeere abaki kati ekika ekyo kya Lugave. Ab'Olugave be bannannyini engoma ezo. Ne bakuba engoma ezo nga mujaguzo biki. Era Kawuula yatwala engoma ezo mujaguzo, Entenga, byonna yabizingiramu. Za buwangwa.
I contacted a friend who happens to be a director of Bayimba. He's called Faizo Chiwewa. Those of us who might know him. I said, he actually talked to me that, James, I'm having an event of DOADOA, which I had, known of even years before. And I said, yes, talk about DOADOA. I have something that would be exciting. We have revived the King's Ntenga music, but I doubt that I even have a chance to meet the king. First of all, I'm from Busoga. How do I go through the processes? And I'm a teacher. Really, I'm focused on this music more than I'm focused on other big things, including the politics of our cultures and our nation and things like that. I want to be a simple citizen who is free to do my things. And so he was so receptive, and we walked through the budget and said, I will give the money. It was a bit high from my thinking. And so they came out to perform at DOADOA in the National Theatre. They were actually playing opening act of the DOADOA event. And so somehow this made it known that actually there are some Ntenga players. Following that DOADOA event, there was a coronation ceremony for the king. It's really unique. For me, it is the interlockingness of these skins. And by the way, when it plays and you're very near, you may not really feel the beauty of the music. You have to stand a distance away and you hear it like you're listening to something on a hill, and then you say, wow, this is amazing.
Most of the royal musical instruments are perishing. I wouldn't like to die before these are being implemented back in the palace, because the Ntenga should be in the palace and should be there. We are going, but the problem.com is causing a lot of problems, you know. When you tell someone, can you play, they say, no, I cannot play the big, instead of calling them drums, they say, I don't want to play the bigoma.
This music has cultural significance in Uganda, and for me, that is the starting point. I really needed to respect the context, the cultural context in which this music was birthed. So in revitalizing this music expression, the intention is not to sell it to the world as me. But I have had challenges with the young people who learned the music. One of them actually said one day, but I am the music. So, why did he say that? He said it because I was trying to suggest that we keep within the confines of the cultural institutions that claim responsibility of this expression. My argument has and still continues to be that the kingdom is interested in this cultural expression, and I really needed to respect the kingdom.
I'm a believer. So wherever I go, I worship, okay? You know, I'm happy, like my brother Kabuza. You know, if you find us playing the spiritual songs on a xylophone, if you are tempted, you can worship on a xylophone. Not only me, with friends like Okirol and, we got our queer name, which we call ourselves, but I won't say it. But it was jokingly, we say, come on, mister, let's play, and then we kick it off.
Cultures don't die sometimes. They can only be held a little bit, but as long as they are spirit, they find their way back into the domain of existence. I think I would like to continue my contribution to the heritage of this world. The diversity of mankind is the beauty of this planet. And in my view, if the different cultural expressions are given a vent to exist within their power and into the public domain, I think we have a better world. We have a world where we understand one another. It is these differences which help us to see who we are. And it is the same differences which help us to resolve and come to an understanding.
I'm happy because I invented something which took a long time. You know, when presidents or whatever other people comes, they think when we talk of gun salutes. But for us, I invented something called the drum salute for the king, you know. On every year, which he adds up when he's still alive, that's the rhythm we play. Because last time was 27 years, and we banged 27 drum salute.
My name is James Isabire. I would like to invite all of you in every corner of the world to come and enjoy Ntenga music of the Baganda people during this DOADOA 2021. 2021.
Thank you so much for joining this week's show, DOADOA 2021. I hope you had some fun and got some inspiration. If you have any comment, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave your comment, or our Facebook page, Twitter or Instagram. We'll definitely get back to you. We are very grateful, and until next week, I remain your host, Faizo Kiwewa from Bayimba and the DOADOA team. Keep it DOADOA 2021.
mbakumbuze igitaramo cy'iwacu iwacu turatarama ngwino urare iwacu turatarama ngwino urare iyo dukoze ku nyamirya iz'ubuhuha n'inkomangano biratwizihira cyane. Mpamagare muhigirwa ni Nyaruguru mu muhamirizo w'intore, mu muhamirizo w'intore. Sebaganji babukwege aseruke mu byivugo byiza. Mpamagare Sebatunzi ayihere mu miyuki akubwira inaha na batatu yaruta mu kinyange cyarutibuka mu bakemba, mu bakemba. Tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka iwacu turatarama ngwino urare tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka turatarama ngwino urare tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka.
Ebana biso tolinga kobina, ebana biso tolinga kosepela ka elongo tobina tosepela tosangisa pe tolingana
tugusogongeze ku ntango y'amahoro. Nkwibutsa umugani wa Nyashya na Baba, inkuru ya Saruhara rwa Nkomokomo Cyacana ndetse na Ngunda. Tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka iwacu turatarama ngwino urare aho dutaramiye nta rungu. Tugutaramire kandi uzagaruka turatarama ngwino urare
tolingana niso kaka kosepela
isuka ridahanze jya mbere wampaye inka cyuringanje reka ntugatsikire cyuringanje nuko umuco wacu ntugacindishe itaranto hariho umutware yaratunze cyane afite n'abagaragu kera kabaye agira uruzinduko mu kindi gihugu ahamagara abagaragu be maze abasigira ubutunzi bwe umwamuhe tarane eshanu undi amuhe ebyiri undi amuhe tarane imwe itagirira kabiri maze umutwara arazinduka maze babagaragu batangira gukoresha za tarano nk'uko shebuja yazibasigiye uwahawe shana aragenda arazigenza agenzura amesha hano uwahawe ebyiri nawe abigenza atyo agenzuramo ebyiri maze wa wundi wahawe imwe aragenda acukura icyobo ayishamo ya tarano aratinyuka arayitabaye nuko iminsi irahitindira ataha maze shebuja mu kuzindukuruka abarana nabo ibyo yabasigiye uwahawe shana araseruka ati databuja mwiza wansigiye shanu uzungutse izindi eshanu uwahawe ebyiri nawe araseruka ati databuja mwiza wansigiye ebyiri zungutse izindi ebyiri shebuja ati bagaragu banje beza nuko kuko mwakiranutse muri bike nico gitumye mbekurira byinshi ico nimuze mwinjire mu munezero wa shobuja maze wa wundi wahawe itarane imwe itagiriye kabiri adatera hejuru azayibovota cyane ati databuja narinzi kuri umunyamwaga usarura utabibye na munagane itaranto narayitabye mu butaka dore ngiyo ufata ibyawe maze shebuja aramusubiza ati mbe mugaragu mubi niko wamunyabutewe esi ni wari ukwiye kuyiha abagenza maze nkasangaho inyungu yayo nuko shebuja arayimwambura ayigabira wa wundi wungutse itarane 10 igiye mu zindi agira 11 kuko ufite wese azongererwa ariko udafite azanyagwa n'utwo yari afite maze wa mugaragu mubi baramuboha bamujugunya mu mwijima hanze azize ubupfapfa mbega agahinda we itaranto yawe yikoreshe neza igira umumaro mu gihe gikwiye itaranto yawe yikoreshe neza igira umumaro mu gihe gikwiye mbese gufasha abakene gusura abarwayi ibikorwa by'urukundo gushigikirana imirimo myiza igihe twahawe aya mafaranga nizo taranto twasigiwe ngo zigire umumaro igihe tukiriho itaranto yawe ikoreshe neza igira umumaro mu gihe gikwiye itaranto yawe yikoreshe neza igira umumaro mu gihe gikwiye
My name is Faizo Kiwewa. I am the founder and the artistic director of Baimba. Welcome to this year's edition of DOADOA 2021. As you're all aware, we skipped our 8th edition to the 9th. Don't blame us. The world did skip a year, and so did we. Since 2008, we have organized festivals, trained stakeholders, and championed a performing arts market that has helped local artists to level with the rest of the world and the region. That's how Baimba has contributed to the vibrant arts sector in Uganda. This edition of DOADOA is thought to be a special one, quite different from the previous years. We are running it for 3 months, from May to July. Once a week, we'll host a speaker and one artist for 30 minutes. We are going to learn everything we can about them. Curated to give a glimpse of the performing arts industry, starting from right here, the future space for the Baimba Center for Visual and Performing Arts on Lunkulo Island, to the Reykjavik Opera House in Iceland, India, Chile, USA, and South Africa. We are going to meet virtually with our friends, some of the most amazing game changers from around the world. They are going to tell us about their spaces, their initiatives, the opportunities, and the possibilities. We thought this edition of DOADOA would take us around the world, and we think we owe our audience what others have got to offer, and hopefully they could be inspired. And our second speaker is Mark Ball from Manchester, the United Kingdom.
Hello to everyone at the Baimba Foundation and welcome from Manchester and Manchester International Festival. I'm Mark Ball, the Creative Director here at MIF, where I'm responsible for working on the festival, but also developing the artistic programme for the factory, which is something I'm going to talk to you about a little bit later. And it's really wonderful to be here today, albeit by video. The history of Manchester International Festival is really tied in to the history of Manchester. Manchester is known as a city of invention. It's where the Industrial Revolution started. And ever since then, the city has been making new things, from it being the birthplace of the trade union movement to the starting point of computing. Manchester is always about newness. It calls itself the original modern city. And so when the festival started in 2007, it really wanted to respond to that and to create a festival that uniquely would focus on new work. So everything that happens in Manchester International Festival, which happens every 2 years, has its world premiere in Manchester. We give an invitation for artists to be really adventurous, to come to the city, to try out new things, and to show things here first before taking it around the world. And we're particularly interested, with that spirit of invention, in really pushing the new. So much of the festival is about bringing artists together from different forms, different traditions, together into a collaborative space so that they can really test out new ideas and create new types of theatre, dance, opera and visual arts, to really try and think about and imagine what the art of the future might look like. So the festival takes place every 2 years. It takes place across the whole city of Manchester. But at its DNA, at its heart, is the creation of that new work that I talked about, with artists from different forms coming together to create really, really new and exciting things. And just to give you some examples to illustrate that, recently we worked with the amazing Oscar-nominated actor Riz Ahmed to create a project called The Long Goodbye, where Riz really wanted to create a piece of work that looked at the impact of racism on immigrants into the UK and brought together not just his form of acting and theatre, but brought that together with dance, with visual culture, with digital culture to create a truly unique piece. More historically, we invited the amazing actor and director Kenneth Banner to reimagine what Macbeth might look like in a beautiful old abandoned church in the heart of Manchester, creating a really epic but very intimate performance that allowed Kenneth Banner to really play with the form of theatre making. Another landmark Manchester International Festival project, and one from its very first festival, was Monkey Journey to the West, which was a collaboration between the Chinese director Zhen Zizhen, the pop musician Damon Albarn, and the illustrator and visual artist Jamie Hewlett. And together, they brought a whole new perspective on that very traditional legendary story of Monkey Journey to the West, really bringing together the traditions of Chinese circus, choreography, design and popular music to create something that felt entirely new, that started life in Manchester and then went and travelled around the world. And to bring us up to date, with a more recent project, we worked with the grime artist Skepta. Skepta was really wanting to try and create a new experience for audiences, a much more intimate live music event. I think he was fed up with playing gigs where audience members would watch him by holding up their mobile phones and would watch him mediated through a screen. So he wanted, as I say, to create something that felt much more immediate, much more intimate. So we worked with him to create and design an incredible set, to work with technologists, to build this visual world that Skepta created on this beautifully designed stage, with only a few people, 1,000 people crowded around him, to create again an entirely new type of live music event where mobile phones were in fact banned. We took them off the audience at the start of the gig. So the Bayamba Foundation asked me about the sacred art forms of Manchester, and I guess if this city is defined by one thing, other than perhaps football, it's designed by music. This is a city that has given birth to a hugely great musical tradition that actually goes back, over a century, from the establishment of the Halle Orchestra. We now have the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra here as well. But more recently, really since the 1970s, an incredible explosion of popular music in the city, from Joy Division, New Order, the Stone Roses, Oasis. Manchester really being a cradle of great musical talent that's gone and been exported around the world. So in terms of music, which has really been at the heart of the festival, we've worked with some of the great artists from across the UK and from around the world. Artists like New Order, who I've referenced earlier, but we got them to actually collaborate with the visual artist Liam Gillick to really think about what a collaboration would mean for a live music event that brought together visual arts and music. We were at Bjork, but again asking her to do something new, to imagine what a Bjork experience might be like in virtual reality. We were with Abdou and Mariam, bringing them to the Whitworth Art Gallery in Manchester. So music has always been a really integral part of the festival, and it's one of the things that will really drive the programme in our new home, the Factory. One of the things that Faisal asked me to talk about were the opportunities for artists from East Africa to engage with the festival. We've had a tradition of working with artists from across Africa. I mentioned Abdou and Mariam. We're working currently with the South African choreographer Greg Makoma. And actually, really excitingly, we're developing a long-term relationship with the amazing Homecoming Festival in Lagos, a festival that celebrates the best of Nigerian and West African design, art, culture, fashion and music. And we'll be bringing that to Manchester in this year's festival as a start of a longer-term relationship. And we'd love to work more with artists from East Africa as well. And we're always open to ideas. We're always open to collaboration. So please, if you've got ideas for what you think might work in the festival or relationships that you think you might want to build with us in Manchester, please just get in touch. We really do want to be open to new ideas. So I'm going to end by talking about two really exciting things. The first is that in a year which we've all faced huge difficulty and huge uncertainty, we're absolutely delighted to be able to present another edition of Manchester International Festival this July, made and created through all of the difficulties and all of the restrictions of COVID. But we've worked hard to pull together artists from the UK and some international artists to create a really special moment over the first 18 days in July in Manchester, a moment that will bring people back into the city, that will allow them to congregate and to reflect on the year that's just gone, to think about what's happened, but also, importantly, to really find moments of collective joy, something that I think we've all been longing for over the past difficult 12 months. And finally, the thing that I'm actually working on most is the Factory. The Factory will be Manchester International Festival's new year-round home. It's being built right in the heart of Manchester, and it will give a year-round invitation for artists to be their most adventurous, where we'll be able to provide artists with new commissions and new opportunities to present their work, not just every 2 years in the festival, but now in an incredible new space, every day of the year. And I'm thrilled that we're only 18 months away from opening the Factory. And it's a really, really unique space. It's a space where we're going to invite artists to be their most ambitious, to make work of scale. I was incredibly excited the other day to be able to go for the first time in over a year because of COVID onto the Factory site and to stand inside that building and to have seen it develop and grow, which I've only been able to do virtually or by looking at photographs, but to see it in the space and to understand its scale and its possibilities. This really is an incredible building that's going to allow artists to create hugely ambitious work of scale in a purposely designed building. So we're really excited about the potential for artists from all over the world to come and be their most creative, not just in the festival, but in the Factory as well. In July, we really look forward to welcoming you to Manchester, whether that's in person or online. And you can catch up with lots of things that are going on in the festival via our website. There'll be a lot of work that's shown online. So if you can't join us in Manchester, please do log on and you'll be able to engage with performances and all sorts of activities and really get a sense and flavour of the festival. So I really do hope that you join us then. And as I say, we really are open to great ideas, to great conversations about how you might want to work with us. So please do, at any time, get in touch. Thank you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of DOADOA 2021 virtual docu-series. As you've heard from the amazing speaker, now you're going to get to know the artist. This week's In Focus artist is Jemima. She is one of the greatest performers of this country, and that's why she got herself the name The Gladiator. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
I'm a Ugandan. I'm a Ugandan. Nyuma emirimu tolina wona kalimu kokola. Okay, kulela ngaloli muna Uganda wana bachi. Nyuma mukamabo tolina.
Ndimuna Uganda. Nenyumiririza nyomwecho. Njagala nyonze. Ndimuna Uganda. Ensi yange. Nenyumiririza nyomwecho. Gemazima. Hello everybody. Welcome to DOADOA. I'm called Jemima Sanyu. I'm from Uganda, Kampala. Yeah. I'm a singer. I started doing music when I was still a very little girl in church. Jemima, people call me the stage gladiator. You can't see that now when I'm talking, but when I get on stage, I become furious. Yeah, I have this energy, I have this passion, and that is what makes me a gladiator. It's like a battlefield when I'm on stage, but I don't do it alone. It's not normally with a team that I work with. What has been my musical journey from childhood? I would say it wasn't an easy one, but my mom kept on pushing me. My mom was a singer in church, in a Catholic church, and she used to sing with us at home. Every time she would get moody, every time she would get happy, she would just make a choir. She had a choir of 5 little beautiful babies, and I was the firstborn. So most of the times, if she wasn't taking the lead, she would tell me, Jemima, please take the lead. And there was some simple song that she used to sing for us. Holy, 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 holy. So that grew, it grew in me. I grew up singing every day. We used to sing every day. So after from home, I would go to school. Trust me, I was always in choir 24/7. Church, I was always in choir. I was in the worship team. I was singing in a church called JCC, Ginger Christian Center, way back in Ginger. When I went to university, I did something different. That was computer networking. I did a short course. Yeah. Then I tried to look for jobs around. Things failed. So that is when my husband came in. My husband, producer Legend P. He told me, but Jemima, you've tried everything and things have failed. Why don't you try singing? Why don't you take it to a professional level? You know? So I got in touch with his brother. His brother, actually 2 of his brothers, producer Henry Chiuwa and producer Steve Jane. So they kept on pushing me. They kept on helping me. They gave me training, and I ended up this professional singer. We also started a band. It was a very simple band in the beginning, but later on it kept on growing. I got to meet people like Mr. Faizo Chiwewa. He has really been a great man in my journey. So many people, but Mr. Faizo Chiwewa has really done a great job. I've worked with people like producer Henry Chiuwa, producer Legend P, producer Steve Jane. Actually, it's in the family. And my brother, producer Big Nash.
Give me love, I give it to you. Give me love, then I give it to you. Give me love, I give it to you. Big Nash, Jemima, I give it to you. Hey!
What motivates me? There is a lot that motivates me, but mostly it's the people around me. The people around me. If you hurt me today, trust me, I'll write a good song about pain. Seriously. If you show me love, you know, if you hug, just a hug is enough for me to write a song. Yeah. Politics at times, you know, where I come from, it's just the daily life, the things that I look forward to as a musician. There are so many. There are so many. I kept on saying, oh, I want to be bigger than Angelique Kidjo since I was a little kid. I want to be bigger than this lady who sang Malaika. Malaika, nakupenda. I used to look at such women and they used to motivate me. But I wanted to be more. Up to now, I still want to be more. Even when you look at my performances, trust me, I'm more.
Katinze nawe tuseye yenga mayengo Naguno mukwano kutumbire nga kavera Baby nze nawe tuseye yenga mayengo Naguno mukwano kutumbire nga kavera Musangari musapatu Natalina ya dele chikopo Nebakola wa munebe zimbe mbela nechuka
Seriously, Jemima Sanyo believes in God. First of all, I grew up in a godly family. We used to pray every day, morning, evening. There was a time I had to leave home. We had some issues, you know, how families, you know, my mom had to separate with my dad. They had to separate. And they took me to a pastor's home. Trust me, we would pray every day. So that really made me grow as a person, spiritually. It really helped me in the way I behave, treat other people. Yeah, in everything that I do, I have to make sure people see God. They see God. How do they see God? By doing good. Doing good. So I believe in God. I grew up in a very terrible family, you know. My dad was very, very, very tough. He used to beat us almost every day. Every day. Imagine every day, even without any reason. He'll just find you there sitting, doing nothing, and he'll just ask you, what are you doing? You know? And in case you didn't have any answer for that, he would beat you to death. He would make sure he first sees blood coming out of you. So that really brought pain, you know? It brought pain into my heart. Not me alone, even my siblings. Every time I open up my voice just to sing, I run away from all that pain. That's why I give it my all. That is where I get the strength from.
Najua tuliyoko sana Mimi na wewe Yeah Hakunipa nafasi nikueleze Ilianza je na iliwaje Na hawezi ona the truth in my eyes The old me They got you blind. Hey!
How I was brought up, the pain I went through just because mom and dad were not happy together, you know, and I had to suffer, you know. And being the firstborn, I had to make sure I'm in between these wars, you know, in between mom's wars, dad's wars, the in-laws. It was always chaos, chaos, chaos everywhere. So it really made me grow into this strong, you know, strong, understanding, reasonable girl, you know. So And up to now, I still feel the pain, you know, because it's hard, yeah? It's hard to see your mother somewhere different, your father somewhere different, and it's you who has to, you know, keep on pulling them together. You know, no, we have to do this, we have, you know, so that really drives me, you know. So every time I sing, I just run away from that pain. Actually, I normally don't talk about the story. This is the first time it's coming out. It's the first time, but I really love people, so every time I'm performing, I just want to spread that love out of me to the world, you know, out of me to the audience, out of me to everyone watching, out of me to the little girls, you know, because I don't want people, I know people have different challenges, they have different families, they have different parents, you know. Some of us were not lucky. But trust me, many of the girls are also have not been lucky. So what I normally do is I don't want to bring that pain to them. So that is what I normally do. I just spread the love. This is a special song coming from Jemima Sanyo. I want to dedicate it to everyone watching DOADOA. It talks about love that cannot just go away. Broken love, tears, scars, but you know, you have to keep on holding yourself to that person, you know. And I would really want to dedicate it especially to the girls, to the women who have been through what who have gone through what I went through when I was growing up with my father, my tough father, because I still love him. I still respect him, you know. He's my father. I can never get another father. Okay. This love is so tall, it gets us high, we touch the sky. These tears and the scars are too strong, they rewind the time. So tall, it gets us high, we touch the sky. These tears and the scars are too strong, they rewind the time. Ni wanafaka kubadilisha ilianza je, iliwaje. Jemima loves Beyonce. I love Beyonce because of her energy, her performance, her voice, you know. She touches my heart, you know. I would really feel good to perform with that woman, you know. Having that Ugandan energy, joined together with, you know. I love Beyonce. Actually, even when you check my gallery, it's full of that lady, her photos, her videos. I just love Beyonce. I won't specify that this is the kind of stage that I want to be on, you know. I just want to give myself room. Whatever comes my way is what I go with, you know. I just have to keep on being hopeful, you know. The stages are too many. There are too many. But trust me, whichever stage comes my way, trust me, Jemima can tear it down. Uh-oh! Is the world ready for me? It has to be. Am I ready for the world? Come on. I'm ready for the world, you know. During the COVID-19 season, yeah, actually it was a dead year because most of the venues where we were working from had to close down. The hotels, the restaurants, the bars, you know, the stages, Bayimba, we didn't do Bayimba, we didn't do DOADOA. It was a lot, and there were some tours that we normally went to. They were all closed, everything was shut down. What I decided to do was turn my energy to the studio, you know. So we recorded songs. I have songs like Bandage, Njagala Bandage, you know, and it's my husband, the producer, who produced it. I also have songs like Give Me Love. That was my brother, Big Nash, who produced it, you know. So far, I have 2 producers working on me, Legend P and Big Nash. They're really putting in a lot because they know what I can do. And they love me, you know. They want the best from me. And I really appreciate that, you know. Where can people find my music? My music is everywhere. You can go to YouTube. Yeah, I have all the videos there, all the audios there, all my social media platforms, you know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you know, SoundCloud, everywhere. Trust me, we try to put all the music out there for people to listen.
Thank you so much for joining this week's show, DOADOA 2021. I hope you had some fun and got some inspiration. If you have any comment, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave your comment, or our Facebook page, Twitter or Instagram. We'll definitely get back to you. We are very grateful, and until next week, I remain your host, Faizo Kiwewa from Bayimba and the DOADOA team. Keep it DOADOA 2021.